okay, so I started another one because yeah, I looked and saw it was like, nah, it was so we have some water. I was just about to start talking about people if they were like trying to get well, if they were trying to get into recovery. And I would just say you're in recovery. Don't say you're trying to get in recovery, just say you're in recovery. And then if you're still having trouble using, you don't exit recovery, right? Just, I would give yourself that and just say you're in recovery, right? Don't go, well, I have no days sober or something. Just, I think even beginning to talk about it, like people are in a denial a lot of times that they even need to be in recovery about something. Um, um, if you've never been like that, there's people that are actually like that. I've met them. Okay, so like there's still people that live in a denial about their addiction issues, and then sometimes just dysfunction. So you don't have to have any days sober to say that you're in recovery. Okay, so even just saying that, right, you're already in recovery because you're already past the first step that there's something wrong, right? They just go around acting like that's something that you do. Even you could have people that are just complete alcoholics. I've met them, and drug users that will go, well, I don't really have a problem with it. I'm doing this and that, and I work, and like they're literally just completely in denial that their lives are in a fucking shambles. In case you didn't know that, they never are like they don't believe even they have any problems. So, um, if you come from a certain level of dysfunction, and you've been using for a long time, I'm sure that you um, have been subject to the business about people being psychos and stuff. And so there's a concern to not be psycho, to not act psycho, because it seems so frightening a concept. Okay. I was talking about what happened with Brian Buchanan's Facebook page in particular. So, it, right. Acceptance is important, I guess, to some people in life. I don't think I was ever really like that. I gotta say, I'm kind of, I guess, a loner to some respects, but I do like to socialize. But I don't think that I'm that dependent on other people's approval, which I didn't never really thought about. I never like in life was thinking about that. It never came up to think if I was like that or not. I just was living my life. But some people are sort of dependent on other people's approval. So it can be like certain things are so out there and psycho that you just don't do it because everybody around you, anytime somebody is sober, anybody times someone's reporting things, talking about their personal life, yelling at a person sometimes depends on what the context of the yelling is. Seems psycho, right? People that put themselves out there emotionally seem psycho. There's certain things you don't do, um, stuff like that. So I was explaining if I was going to have a boyfriend, like I was going to do that thing again, like almost like when I made up a list for Mr. Mary, which, in case people have never heard of this, if you haven't heard about recovery, you probably haven't heard about the list. If you wanted to ever court anybody for marriage, you should have a list where you begin thinking about things that are important to you before you ever meet this person. So when you have a list, then you're supposed to remember that when you start courting someone. Number one, honesty. Must be honest. So, um, if I was had a boyfriend, like in this thing, like say I had a boyfriend and I at first I was gonna go out there, which is unfair because it's not even true about me, especially after going out with Brian Buchanan. It's clearly not true. So I guess maybe a bit of realism about what I actually do. Like if I'm not gonna reassess what I did and never do stuff like that again, then I just gotta have a realism about what I actually do. So if I was going out with someone that was in recovery and I was logged into his Facebook page, the same thing by him, because clearly I wouldn't go out with someone unless we were doing that. Okay. Like he has a phone, I have a phone. We're logged. Now I have no Facebook, right? But he could see if he could make a Facebook for me on my phone. Oh, wait, no, I have the Zoe Woody one on my phone. So I do have one on my phone. Okay. So Facebook. Okay. I don't even think anybody can comment to me on that. It's like another internet prison from what I can tell. But he can be logged into my internet prison. Okay. So he can see it. He can see what I'm talking about. And then he can try to look it up on his phone and find out it's not fucking there. He can even look at my settings on the phone and see that it's not set to private. Okay. That is just my life, unfortunately, for right now. Okay. So, um, it, log him right into the Facebook. He logs me right into his Facebook on my phone, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So basically, at that point, I'd have to, yeah, you can switch back and forth between your page and his page. Okay. Because if you can't find each other's page, which is what actually happened, um, then you've got to be able to go back and forth the pages. But anyway, your boyfriend knows it at that point when he tries to look it up in his phone that what the fuck is this? So say that he's in there and all of a sudden the people in there start attacking him. Okay. And he says, okay, I'm deleting this one. Like doesn't start actually talking back to them per se, but deletes them. Okay. Do I care if he's done that or not? I mean, my life is I don't even have anybody I know in a Facebook page. That's how bad it is. I don't know if he does, but I'd find out. Like clearly, you go, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as me. This is the one I have. Someone sent me a phone number, so I can't even put it on my laptop. I can't put Zoe Woody on my laptop because someone had to send me a telephone number, and that's how I have a Facebook page on a phone that I still can't locate anybody I know. They don't even, it's still an internet prison. That was definitely verified with that Jen Vickery business. Okay. Um, it's just some sort of profound insanity. So if that's not going on with him, he would go, what the fuck? And then the point is kind of moot with me. But I would explain, here's my laptop, see if you can find this. I don't even know the phone number associated with it. I think it was a text message. I guess maybe my boyfriend would actually do it. I don't have the fucking patience. See, just scroll all my text messages and see if you can find when this phone number was sent to me. Someone texted to my fucking phone. Yeah, it was like a weirdest thing that the technology and something about you click on something and then all of a sudden you have a fucking Facebook page on your phone. Okay, and then but yet you can't talk to anybody. I don't know if it's a community page or something. Okay, so anyway, but like back when it was like regular, if it ever goes back to regular, just the whole scenario itself. Um, yeah, like, I wouldn't be having to go into a detox, so that's never going to happen. And yeah, the dude would presumably not be going into a detox, so that scenario would never happen. You just go, the fact that anybody would flip out, right, on either side, you just go, or maybe even in real life. Yeah, I think even it happens in real life too. I think that that in itself, if you're able to, is a sign to the people to that you need to get away from them. Right? Like that would probably be an eye opener for my new boyfriend to just go in real life, people are doing it. If he has social media, you just go, okay, this sort of sucks and it's like scary because I wasn't really aware of this. Whereas apparently Mary's been aware of it for a while. So she's sort of become chill to it. She's not as flipped out about it. That's what I was wondering if, like, for instance, if Brian didn't realize he doesn't know those people and like how fucked up they are, but say he did know them, that would be even worse. It's scary. It's scary to see a person. They weren't attacking him, but it's got to be still frightening to see the words and shit they were saying to me, like they were in a psychosis themselves. Yeah. I guess I'm getting used to it. Like I said, Jerry was with me when one guy did it, who didn't know. I didn't know him. It wasn't like a friend of mine, but you just, I kind of am used to it. Sometimes, like the one like a week or two ago, yeah, that was. I know you would think that, but Jerry talked to the person. It's not a hallucination. It is. It's a weird. Yeah. Well, other people probably they're like, yeah, Mary, we know. I mean, clearly you're forgetting how fucked up the world is right now. We're like basically being nuked because we're being attacked repeatedly by people. So we know. I know, but it's like I'm in a beautiful mind. It's like, can you see that person that was just screaming at me? Hi, like that woman. Hi, I know you don't know me, but there's a person right there, right? Okay. No, I don't usually have mental illness. It's just it's so weird. It made me question if he wasn't there. Yeah, no, I don't have hallucinations. It's just it was so weird. I wasn't sure if the person was real. Yeah, that's all. I don't mean to bother you walking by as a stranger. Just is there a man right there? Okay. Most people wouldn't do that. I didn't do it that day. Um, but most people wouldn't do that. You're so upset by the incident and you just I didn't really think it until afterwards. No, at the time I didn't think that, but afterwards I was like, is it possible he wasn't even there? I thought that when that woman knocked on the door at the room. But like I told you, I have a video of the one at the hotel. Is that why people started videoing people with their phone? Yeah. I do actually have a phone now. I thought for a second that that's what that cat fart person meant. Did they not know, like, why that video, though? I mean, I don't think so. If you thought that's what you were doing, you're a sex offender too, though. But like, you're being a sex offender and you're like in a denial about it. Why that video? Why not just randomly any video? Because you know I'm going to get a notification and see it. Just any video at all that I've ever posted, put the same thing. If you were talking about, and it happened like 2 weeks ago now. I don't think it was that, but your mind wants to make up something. I know. I just think the person's a pervert, but your mind wants to make up something. They're perverted because they're abusive and they have dementia. That's why they're perverted. Yeah. It's just a way for that person to abuse me. Yeah, it's like a weird perversion where it's anything to try to bother me. I really don't think the person is quote unquote a pervert per se. Right. It's just that person believes that saying something perverted bothers me. That's why it's doing it. Brain disease? Yeah, brain disease. Why? Yeah, because exactly why does it want to hurt you? Brain disease? Okay, so um, yeah, that would have been a good time to turn the phone on. It takes a few minutes. I mean, when you're being attacked, I don't have that type of phone. Do you guys have a way to turn your camera right on? Probably. You hit the button three, you know all the things. Hit this twice real quick, and then you do it like this, Mary. Do do do, something like that. Like when you're playing a video game, you got to do A, B, and C. Nope, you got to go A, B, C. Nope, you got to go A, B, C. And a person born after 1998 goes no and throws the thing. Yeah, probably like that. And then it turns right on. I'm sure. I have an Assurance wireless phone. I don't have a like. I guess the ones that you buy probably have more features where you just go ABC, do, do, do. And you're so used to doing it, you could be under attack. Maybe you can do ABC with just your thumb. ABC, AB, and then this finger goes ABC, and it comes right on. And there you are filming some guy screaming, "You smell like fish." That would have been great because I could have posted it to the Twitter and the Facebook. So, um, it just seems that a person I would go out with, obviously, unfortunately, this has been his life. That's why it's like he would probably be living in a tent or a shelter if he's not in jail. Yeah, just they're not giving us housing. It's just I don't know. You'd have to ask them. It's like they can tell that we're a different species or something, and it's just a holocaust. You just go. They can tell somehow, but well, you'd either have to have children that are old enough to play video games, or you've played them yourself, so you know what I'm talking about. Or yeah, those two groups of people, you don't have to have a kid, but you'd have to be a person who played the video games, and then you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, now they probably don't even have that now, and then they have the click things up here. They have the clicker things up here too. On down now, it's probably like one of those Bop It Extremes. I mean, we had a thing that had a pole and a button. Have you guys thought about concert piano or like exactly like maybe not the tuba, but the tuba has buttons too? Maybe the clarinet. If you're going ABC and then you know you do this, maybe yeah, maybe a trumpet, classical violin or something. No, I think really the are those the I don't think they have the reeds, so they're not woodwind instruments, but with the buttons. That is and not Madagascar gone extreme two, but then I did three, two. No, it's no G, but on the corner, just the corner part, ma. Force some of them probably forcing their mother, who's like 70, to play video games with them with the headset and everything. You no, you stay no, you stay there in the living room, going up to my room. Don't worry about why we can't be in the same room together. Okay, so you have your headset on? Okay. Anyways, so yeah, like again, Jeremy, whoever likes Jeremy, um, no, I view it as a positive that he was like, I don't have a phone. They won't even give us telephones. And then, like I said, that Brian dude, someone stole his phone. Oh, I lost it. You didn't lose your phone, Brian. You didn't lose your phone. Somebody either stole it or you sold it for $10. You didn't lose it. And honestly, if someone bought your phone for $10, they stole it from you. Yeah, you didn't lose your phone. Please. Anyways, he said he lost clothing that I laundered for him too. I don't know if someone stole it from him out of some sort of horrifying jealous rage. Probably. Because I carried that shit back here, laundered it, and carried it back the next day like a wife would. So someone probably flipped the fuck out on him and took it from him. He said he left it on the train. That's why I was amazed. And during all that time, he didn't lose my backpack or my phone number. I was shocked. Right? Just, he still had the phone I gave him, but not the charger. And then he said something about it getting all wet. How did it get wet? Like, did someone piss on you? How were you wet? No, this is before the weird phone call about all his clothes being wet. I know how that got wet. Oh, is it from walking in the rain and you forgot? Didn't he tell me it got water on it before that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told me it got water on it. Was he outside in the rain? That's why it got water on it. I know you just go. There was photographs in that shit, Brian. I could have at least used the SIM card so I had the photos. And like I said, it has text messages and stuff in it. My life is an open book. I don't even know. I know it had a text exchange about not being able to bring Michael and Karen back to the house. Um, I don't think I was talking to anybody else. There's probably a couple of texts from Karen. I don't know if she has the same number, but it would have her phone number in it. Um, I don't know if it would have Jen's phone number in it or not. I don't think I talked to Jen during that time. I only had the phone from December of 2019. It's probably got Patrick's phone number in it. I think no, I think I was using a different phone when I was talking to Patrick. I had the AT&T phone. Yeah, it was after that summer because that phone service ran out. It was a card, the AT&T phone. So from December of 2019 till about November or December of 2020. Yeah. Um, they weren't supposed to shut the phone service off, obviously. They did it on purpose when they did all this shit. I know you just go. It's when they started all that fucking lockdown, but they actually didn't shut the phone off until it had to be right around after Thanksgiving when Karen texted me. That's probably why they did it. They never thought anybody would ever contact me, and then she texted me, right? Because they're probably concerned about Michael Florian or some such shit. And so then they shut the service off to the fucking phone in a complete derangement of the minds. But, anyways, obviously, any guy I would go out with is aware of that shit because they've been fucking doing it to him too. It's just shitty, Brian Buchanan. Uh, I don't know if you're a poser that is the other species or what the fuck that is, but you just go, it's pretty shitty if you were supposedly one of us, as you call it, and you fucking did that to me. It's pretty shitty. That's all. There's plenty, I mean, there's 8 billion people. This is a nation of other species. So I find it difficult to believe that you'd be my species doing that. Yeah, you just go, this state alone has 7 million people, Brian Buchanan. So half of them are probably female. And knowing your behavior, does that really matter based on what you told me? Is that bad to say? I hope people in recovery, yeah, you got to get over yourselves, I guess. Not when you're not doing the shit anymore. Yeah, I guess say that you are a reformed hoe, like I'm a reformed slut. You would hope that you wouldn't be doing that stuff anymore. So, yeah, it wouldn't really come up in conversation. Yeah. I'm not really like that. I wouldn't expect a man to be now he's got to talk to me like I'm a literal sexual virgin unless he wants that in his head. I don't mean it like remembering any of it. Just if ever you something came up about your past. Yeah, I mistaked that dude caring about talking about Al with that. That I understand. Then you go, yeah, I mean, I got to agree with you. That's the problem. Can you stop saying the word fucking X? Can you stop saying my ex? You're the person who keeps doing it, not me. And then the second I bring up something about my fucking life and missing children that are presumed fucking dead now, you say that. You're a fucking contradiction in terms. I know. I agree with that. I agree with that shit. I don't want to hear anything about people's fucking exes either. So maybe it just depends on the person. I wouldn't want to be with the dude who wants to talk about my fucking endeavors either, right? It would make more sense that a dude would go, I think a lot of your stuff is funny too, babe. Like I've seen some of the stuff online, but you've got to learn to be in a relationship because you've been single so long. So you got to stop doing this. You got to stop doing that. Like it's not really like mad. It's just it's gonna hurt me, and it's just I don't want to. I know you don't mean anything by it, but I don't want to fucking hear it in my head. You got to learn to talk when you're in recovery. If you're due to recovery, you got to learn to talk. I mean, if you're a young person, none of that applies to you. That's the point. That's why you need to stay in your programs and your proper coding and stuff because it becomes more complicated. You don't have any of those complications. Spare yourself that. Just every time you see adults that in a couplehood and you can tell there's something, you don't have to hear everything they're saying and you go, right. You're going to be like Pacey Witter. This time I am stopping it. Right, because first of all, those characters are way too young, but the actors themselves were not that age. But if those people were college age students and not high school, right? Realistically, just because you have the hormones doesn't mean the brain, right? You go, old people have hormones, but they still have to like use their brain to not do stupid things. Right? Just because you are old enough to have hormones doesn't mean you throw proper coding out the window. So, but people that are in recovery, usually they have a past, right? That's why I said to other people, it's probably not appropriate for fresh and nice young people to try to go out with people in recovery. That's a kind of an acceptance for people in recovery. I, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really want to go out with someone that's in their 20s and they're a literal virgin and they've never used. I don't think that's appropriate to want to do that. So if you want to have um, like you can't accept that about yourself and you want to have like that type of a spouse, I would say you need to stay just celibate for the rest of this time. Okay, because it seems an unrealistic goal to me, right? So, given the fact that whatever's going on, I mean, yeah, I myself, I'm not willing to like settle on a person. That's why I was. going to marry the guy because I didn't feel like I was settling on a person. Right. So if you feel like it's not, say that he felt like he was settling on a person, you need to break up with the person properly. Right. Just exactly. Just, I would reiterate that to him. And if he was trying to go out with someone, the other species, it's sort of pointless. Yeah, I hate to say it, but the other species, none of that matters because they seem to not care about anything. They're not even those types of people. If they were going to do that, they're not even regular Christians. So the advice doesn't even apply to people like that. Only he knows that. Yeah, clearly no one knows him, even if he was with someone for now 8 or 9 months, they don't know him. Only he knows that. If he was with someone, they don't know him. That I know. Even the other species that's Christian would go, okay, so um, I understand. Okay, so now you have 8 months sobriety, and do you have like anybody that's going to come out of the woodwork because clearly you've had, a life. He's going to be able to tell a person he doesn't have that. Are you kidding me? That's why I'm saying you just go. So a person that was going to go out with me, it's like, do you have anybody in you? I don't have anybody that's going to be doing that. No. Right. Like if I was in the thing and the guy would be like paranoid or whatever you call it, just like me. I don't know if it's paranoid, but do you have anybody that's. I clearly have people that are stalking, harassing, keeping me hostage, holocausting me, targeting me. Yeah. They try to remain faceless and anonymous. Okay. But I mean, when you see them in real life, they can't be faceless and anonymous. They talk to me sometimes. So obviously, I figured out that clearly the U.S. military is part of it, as I explained, and that some of them keep trying to depersonalize and pretend they're not, when there's no possible way that that could be true. Um, they again, like I mentioned about Jen, that's the most recent one, where they again tried to pretend they were Jen Vickery, and so I went. You tried to pretend to be one of my children, and you tried to pretend to be Jen Vickery that I've known for 7 years. Okay, so I would really refrain from trying to be someone I know it's never going to work out. Because I don't talk to people I don't know online. You know that. Um, this is the other thing, too. The thing with Jennifer Vickery that's a little bit sort of disturbing. I don't know. I mean, unless you had like an undercover cop that went into the shelter, I know you go, well, I doubt those people will hurt the person, right? Because you go, okay, just be careful because you seem like you're like maybe criminally insane. Okay, so just be careful doing that because these people are scary. Like if you ever get like the sense that these people are sort of fucking with you, you need to leave there. Like if a cop went into that shelter and he's not telling people he's a cop, and you were pretending to be Jen in order to tell me that you were going to the shelter, because that person didn't say anything rude to me. Yeah, just be careful because psychopaths are odd. I think that there's some people going in that place that they may even be homeless themselves and they literally stick up for the staff members in there. So just be careful. Some of these people, Rebecca Donahue made up something that the cops are our enemy. She said that too. So yeah, just be careful. They know who everybody is. So they're probably going to find out you're a cop unless you're in the military and you don't have any documentation or something. But anyways, that obviously wasn't intended to talk to me. It was like trying to lure me to the shelter or something, and you go, "I am never going back to that place." And then the person tried to say that to leave a phone number, which I didn't write down, and then say that all of their communications are being intercepted. Yeah, like, I think that it's part of depersonalization, but only those people out there know that. Right, only the people in Quincy and probably only cops know if a cop was actually doing that, if a cop showed up at the shelter, because you go, "You're just mirroring back what's going on with me." You know, it's just if all of your communications are being intercepted, how are you talking to me in this Facebook page? Right, like, you just popped up in the Zoe Woody timeline. How did you just pop up in the Zoe Woody timeline? That's why I was wondering if they got bored and they were trying to make me talk about Jen again, talk about a story. Are they directing story, what do they call that? Story arcs? Anyways, part of the reason I stopped talking to her, by the way, is because I was with Brian at the time. I would expect a man to go, you know that you can't like have a friendship with her, right? No, I know. I don't talk to her currently. Right. She showed up at Quincy when I was there. And obviously I was single at the time, not to go out with her. She checks in with me because she obviously was like looking for people to talk to and stuff. And I'm like her quasi psychiatrist, as the text messages verify. And then I started talking to that dude. So I think I no, her and I had it out before I started even talking to him, right? But say that that hadn't happened, I would have had to stop talking to her, right? I would just say I'm seeing someone now, and I don't think it's like fair to the person. I don't think it's appropriate for me to be talking to you when I'm in a relationship. Like given our history, I don't think it's appropriate. That's what I would have ended up doing. I know. Does it sound shitty? I can't, so far, I can't really be actually friends with her because of the history and the way that she is. Right. So I don't really find it that shitty. Other than that, I don't really currently have any friends because of everything that's happened to me. And honestly, anybody that I would be friends with, there wouldn't be some sort of a problem with any man I was going out with. Um, One of the things I mentioned, but this is probably just again me sort of like it might just be a topic for other people. I don't think it really applies to me because Karen Corbett didn't seem really interested in reforging a friendship and hanging out with me. But if the man was in recovery from drug use, yeah, because if she's in recovery, it's still sort of early. I mean, at most, she has what, 2 years at most? I'm trying to think. If she stopped using after December of 2021, then she could possibly have 2 years sobriety. That's kind of a lot. She didn't mention anything, so I don't know. Um, I'm not abreast on her life. I don't know anything since around. It may not have been December, around the fall of 2021. So I don't know. Well, I hope so. My God, I hope there's not a lot of people that are in recovery from crack cocaine, but I don't know. I know we're like, say it depends if the guy it was a drug user. Hopefully he. I think it does matter. Yeah, like cigarettes. I think it matters if it's that particular drug, and it should never be a topic of conversation. Like I, um, I don't really talk about outside of here, in a social situation, I don't think I really talk about cigarette smoking and drinking that much. It came up today at the food pantry. I didn't even say it when he was. I assume that's his girlfriend, unless it's his sister. The guy that helps you, the volunteer, was making chit chat about St. Patrick's Day, and then he said he was thinking about going to the parade with. I don't want to say people's name, but he said her name and pointed, so I assume it's his girlfriend. Um, and then I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I was thinking it about I don't go there because of the drinking. I don't think I've ever gone to the St. Patrick's Day parade in Boston. So then he started talking about beers or something you can drink. And I go, yeah, I'm not a drinker. And I go, that's kind of why. And I go, that's probably why I've never gone to it. Yeah, like did I say alcoholic? Yeah, just I don't. I'm not a drinker, so I think it matters. Yeah. Um, well, I myself, I wouldn't start smoking if I was around smokers. Yeah, that I know. I wouldn't start drinking if I was around drinkers. But it's just the nature of the obnoxious of it. And I know I don't want to be rude, but just go into a parade where at least a, a half of the people are blotto and they've turned a holiday into just you drink because they're Irish. I get it. I went to Ireland and it was fun when I was there. It definitely was not like a obnoxious KOL concert. Okay. With the pit. And I'm there with my teenage daughter, obviously stone cold sober. I drove there. I wasn't in recovery yet, but I wasn't drunk that day. And I'm just like, oh my God, these people are. It was probably a good thing for her to see. These people are. See how obnoxious people are when they're fucking drunk? Never drink, right? So I don't know how to explain it. KOL and the Black Keys. I Yeah, why would you be that's what people do at concerts. They drink and do drugs and stuff. It's you can't even take your children anywhere. It's Buddy Holly, for fuck's sake. You just go, You're drunk at a Buddy Holly concert? Okay. She went to Buddy Holly and Brian Adams. I think she liked both of them, but I think she might have liked the Brian Adams one better because of that. It was in an acoustic venue and they served alcohol. I actually think I had a beer, which I shouldn't have, but because I drove, but it was like at the beginning of the thing. I'm not, yeah, I definitely shouldn't have done it, but I believe I had one. Yeah. And it's acoustic and everyone has seats. So I think that's part of the reason she liked it more. Unless I didn't drink there, I might have not have. I might be confusing it with Nickelback, where I went by myself. I went to the concert completely alone, and I did drink there. Yeah. Um, I had to drive home. I wouldn't. I probably was legally drunk. Yeah. I don't really drink and drive. That when I started doing when like instances like that is when I knew that I had to stop drinking. It's not like when you're in high school and college because I went a whole big stretch of my life just not doing anything. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you go back out. Is that when a lot of people like get drunk driving charges? Probably. And you're like, yeah, this isn't really going to work out because I go everywhere by myself. Yeah, this isn't really going to work out. So that's when you fly somewhere and you take trains and shit all over Ireland so you can be blotto and you're not driving a car. But anyways, I'm really not a big advocate of drinking and driving, even when I was drinking. But I'm not. I definitely made some mistakes. Like even having one, I think, is a mistake, especially when you have your kid with you. But anyways, I'm not sure if I did, but I definitely wouldn't deny it. Yeah. but I know the Nickelback concert, I believe I was drinking. So, anyways, I was there by myself. I know I do things by myself. I also took her to see The Departed. No, there was no drinking there. We went to the same restaurant, like we went to the Mezzaluna that I used to go with my friend Betty that I was living with, and then we went to see The Departed. Okay, so what was I talking about? Concerts. Oh, about the drugs. Well, only that person knows, and they probably wouldn't. They, I don't know. You probably get tired of. I don't know if it would bother me. I have to think about it the other way. If I assume it would bother a man, if he, I don't think it would bother me. No, I don't think it would bother me if he'd go, okay, now you know that you can't drink, right, because of the cigarettes. That wouldn't bother me. And I'm like a pretty like yeah, I'm a pretty independent person. I think when I'm going out with someone, stuff doesn't stuff doesn't bother me. It's almost like I take it as caring and not someone being controlling. Certain things are controlling, but I wouldn't consider that controlling. No. Yeah. Because it's true. Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know. That's probably why I wasn't really being like that with that dude because I figured it would bother him. He seemed the type that it would bother him, but I don't know. I was like screaming at people. Maybe it really wouldn't bother him. So um, don't expect me to be like that. I guess is probably the point. Yeah, like it doesn't bother me, but I don't really do it. I don't know. It's probably completely different the longer you're with someone, and if he was sober when you met him. If he's sober when you met him and you're with him for I don't know, you're courting for 2 or 3 months. Yeah, the conversation isn't as hurried because he's not using. Yeah, it could be like, well, God, could you imagine someone in recovery going, I don't like it if like our entire relationship becomes talking about our recovery program. Oh, how do you keep tabs to know if the person is actually in recovery and sober though? Insane. Yeah. How would you know that if you're not talking about your recovery program ever? You must constantly talk about it, right? I don't know. I haven't gone out with someone in recovery. That dude was certainly not in recovery. Yeah, that's the bad thing about trying to go out with someone who's not in recovery yet because you're afraid they're going to take right off if you start talking about recovery. Yeah. So, um, probably you're probably talking about your recovery all the time. I would assume. I would think the guy would be worried about it too if he's in recovery and he knows I am. I would think he'd be worried about it too. But if he was a recovering drug addict, I don't think he'd be as worried about it. I gotta say, based on the shit that they do, right? He'd probably be like, "Oh my god, someone who's just a drunk and isn't a fucking druggie." Whoa, probably just the amount in this area, the amount of drugs people are on. Probably it's bad, but you just go, "Yippee, lucky find!" Like you don't use, you have no history of drug use, no, just cigarettes. It has nicotine in it. Some people get upset if you keep saying that doesn't have a drug in it. I don't consider cigarettes drugs, but it kind of is when it comes to drinking. Yeah, like if I start drinking, as it just happened again, it's gonna go to cigarettes because cigarettes are my drug of choice, not alcohol. It's not good. Yeah. I was smoking cigarettes for a long time and I was not drinking any alcohol. So that's more about my health. Yeah, it's not like I go altered. That would be a person that actually cares about you because they go, it's just cigarettes, though. You're not gonna like stick someone else's dick in you, right? Not all the time, but I think it's refreshing when an adult man just talks in a regular thing. Maybe not all the time. Yeah, that was one of the things probably I liked about that Brian guy. I don't. I didn't think I was like that until I started going out with him because I was like, at first I was a little bit like, huh? But then I realized that I actually kind of liked it. I think I liked it. I was like, this is it. But it turned out he wasn't exactly a real person. But I guess I don't really mind it. You definitely I want that over being fake. If a man is like a complete gentleman, but it's genuine, okay, right? Like if he was like, you're not gonna like. I guess if it depends on your dynamic, so I need to think about that more. Like if you're trying to have a certain dynamic in your relationship, he probably shouldn't be talking like that. Yeah, and I shouldn't be talking like that either. But that would be something you talk about when you were courting someone. Yeah, I'm over this part of it where everything you do and say you have to be worried about. Like I don't want you to get the wrong impression about me. It's just go out with someone for a couple of months and don't do anything with them sexually, right? And just clearly you would get to know each other because you don't even know what you're going to be like until you're going out with someone because you act different when you're with someone. Yeah. If you've been in recovery for a long time and you haven't gone out with someone in a long time, that's something I found out. It's pointless to constantly go, well, I don't know if I would be like this. And I like you sound like you're saying you could be every person and everything. You don't even know it until you start going out with someone. Yeah, just get over worrying about like you have to present everything you're ever gonna do. You don't even know that until you have to know a person's personality and then see how you act when you're together. Totally. Just why am I hanging around with this guy? Oh yeah, that's right. He's the cute boy at the library. He's the because no, wasn't he the cute boy in the library after that? Yeah, like he was like laying on the ground drunk. And then he was just like weird with like a weird Jew voice. Yeah. Remember that with the money? He was trying to like give me money. Is that when he got his phone and his $600? That might have been what he was talking about. He supposedly was in a detox for 30 days. I can't even see he was there for 30 days. It probably wasn't 30 days. He was probably there overnight. They wouldn't even keep him a day. I know you just go, because he had told me at some point he left a thing. He went right down the street. They gave him $600 and a phone. How does that make any fucking sense? But they're trying to kill these people. Like I know you just go, what does a person who just came out of a detox need with $600 and a phone? Is the phone filled with phone numbers of Johns? What is that? I know, just anyways. I didn't let anyone use my phone. I gotta check the news and stuff, I guess. 6 o'clock. I suppose I should put that chicken in the oven. Get that cooked, turn the light on before I fall asleep. I've noticed it like twice in the past like 3 hours. Yeah. Where all of a sudden I get like that weird sense that um, it's like impending doom, or there was something I was supposed to do, or like my day is lost or something. I've noticed it like twice in like the past 3 hours. And then I have to like self correct. For me, kind of like this morning, it's a constant sort of like maintaining any level of sanity I can. So, including that, where like I feel like deranged animals made up a thing where they're going to do research on me by doing this. Yeah. Like it changes all the time from what I'm told by God. They're going to do research by doing this to me. They're going to write stories based on how, like, what's going on is they're going to learn how people cope in isolation, and they're going to learn how people deal with illegal imprisonment and all this fucked up shit as their brains are being cooked. Yeah, like I just got a flash of it before when I was talking. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. But anyway, it's like day to day to day. Right. If I think about it, it's basically a rage, which is like a biological normal thing. But right, people that are feeling that, unless you're being blocked from viewing me, because it's all part of what is being done to me in terms of God's wrath, right? God's wrath about beings being that cruel and sick. So he looked ahead and saw all that he had need. So clearly, he knew this event, and so that's why they're being forced to terminate themselves. Where literally nothing or any person will get them to stop putting me in a dungeon, putting me in a tower, um, probably repeatedly, and then probably numerous people making up not really different things about what they're doing, and that's one of them. You're going to learn from me. Your children are going to learn to be me. You're going to just sit and get information from God. That's all I do is sit and lay in a fucking dungeon or tower room. And then some of you only want to be able to observe me like I'm your private fucking pet and other people can't. And I'm sure none of it's new. So it's not going to be possible to coexist on a planet. You can't undo the technology that you've been given, but God can, and my species has no use for it. I think the internet we do because there's so many people on the planet right now. So I think the internet we have a use for, but the ability to be able to ban people and pick and choose who can use it, we have no use for that. My species has no use for technology to shut off a person's communications, delete their photographs, delete their art that they created, deleting art that Almighty God created. Because clearly, much of that art is straight out Almighty with the use of lighting, with the cell phones and the webcam cameras. And you've actually deleted art that Almighty God created. You're that sick and insane. So I don't really think about that part of it. I know that that bothers. the criminals from time to time, because whatever it is, it's probably they begin to question what they're doing because they're being completely bound by God. They're being completely contained by God as He's killing them. So I think that from time to time, they begin to question what they're doing. And it causes things like that where um, they want to cause me more problems. And then that's exciting and stuff rather than concerning. So I've explained it many times. God has you in a containment and He's melting your brain matter in your lungs. You're being euthanized for treason and crimes against humanity. So it's better for you folks not to really think about it. So this is a weird thing. Oh, that's right, because I wanted to watch this. Let me put that chicken on first and I can use the bathroom. Jesus reportedly appearing to Palestinians in Gaza. That would be great if they could see me on the thing. The Palestinians in Gaza. That would be fantastic. Well, I don't think God said He was sending a prophet to a select group of people. Right, MLK? The good news was meant for all men. I don't know if this. Oh wait, I can't do it right now because the thing's in front of the door. One of the things I'm gonna experiment to do is put these plantains in a paper bag and see if it helps them. Some of them, oops, it's an almond. Some of them uh, don't actually ever write, but some of them do. It just depends. The ones that it was a couple of weeks ago, someone brought a whole box of them, and I should have taken more than I did, but you had to basically eat them in like 2 or 3 days. But wherever they got them from, I don't know if they were stored somewhere. They were big, like those, but they were completely ripe. Someone must not like them like that. Yeah, some people must not like them like that. So those were good. That was a couple of weeks ago. These are from last week. Yeah, like they're starting to turn a little bit brown, so we'll see. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to it. Like I was thinking about it on the walk, like yesterday. If like the bigger ones have a better chance of ripening like that. Some of them they'll ripen and it's like you go like this and you can tell they're all squishy in there. And then you open them up and it's like a banana, but it's not as sweet. And then some of them, they never do it. It just stays starchy and I throw them in the trash. Yeah. Right now, I don't really have a use for them unless they ripen like a banana. And then I just eat it. I don't have like my own kitchen or anything. I'd probably be doing a lot more cooking. It's all part of the damnation because clearly the kitchen I had in my house, I cooked. That's one of the things I enjoy doing, cooking and baking. I was like, basically, like I said, Mary Poppins. There's a lot of things I enjoy doing in life. That's why living doesn't really make me bored. But clearly, just purposely denying certain people things on it's like horrifying. But also a reminder, like I think one of the things that it did because I believe that it keeps depersonalizing and making up alternate realities for itself. It did this, um, and it tries to say that it's doing this because people might say mean things to me when it's the only thing doing that. They're the only people doing that, right? Not other people. And it's been trying to make up an excuse for what it's doing for God at least 4 years, if not before that. All of them that have been doing it because their brains are dying. So I think any of them that got like obsessed with if they started like contacting their family all the time and warning them about cell phones, and then say they started warning them about what was the other thing? Wasn't there like microwaves? They probably already had brain disease. Like at first, they might have believed what they were being told. I would assume by other people. Okay. And then um, I don't know if some of them sort of like they all got sick or they veered off and because they went, okay, I get what you're saying, but this is not legal to be doing this. Right. And it may have got worse and worse and worse. But I mean, like I told you, these people have to be your top military people. So don't get too caught up in that where you're blaming other people. I went through that, right? Where you go, oh my God, what if like James got sick like that? Because I remember him talking about that's how we get them with the phones. It's pH in the brain, it's a mass extinction. Okay. And there's not a way on God's green earth that James could be doing this. Yeah. The fact that they did this whole Josh Ernest, Joni Ernst, Ernest Mointz, they probably targeted James just like me, not they're friends with him. Yeah. So they wouldn't even tell you if he died. He's saying that James, I think, texted him. and he was asking her if she wanted to talk to him, and I don't know whatever happened to that. They're probably completely fucking with him. I know, because you just go, and then nothing's ever said about it again. Like if she ever did talk to Jim, he said something about, "Do you want to talk to Jim on the phone?" And then I think he said something about him texting him, and I never heard another thing. And then today I told you they both said something about Scott. He may have actually come here and left, and I didn't know it. But whatever happened to that? It's now 6:30. So yeah, like these people are horrifyingly sick, right? Like I think that they will literally fuck with the person until the person finally calls them out on it, right? So I'm kind of thinking she never spoke to Jim, and I don't know. I've made this mistake before, and then it ends up being true. So who knows? Maybe something happened, something came up, and he wasn't meaning to come today, but he said something about, well, we'll let the drama something something, and then I have no idea. I don't remember hearing someone come in a door or other voices talking, so I'm assuming he never came. So yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it in this thing about, did she actually talk to him in real life this entire time? Did she go to a prison and talk to him, or has she been talking to him on text message and on Facebook? It seems a little bit odd. I know, it's like, it seems a little bit odd that he would do that, that he would tell her he was coming here to visit her and then completely not show up. It seems kind of mean. But I know, you just go, clearly one of these internet jailer people would most definitely do that, right? Just, they're grossly insane. Oh, so I gotta keep track of the time because I put that chicken in so it won't spoil. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have that or I'm gonna have corned beef. I'll probably have corned beef and just put the chicken in the fridge. So then I don't have to worry about. It does taste good when you first cook it, though. Maybe I'll have chicken and then go back to the corned beef to give my body a break from all that sodium.
Amid tragedy and suffering, God is intervening in war-torn Gaza. About 200 Gazans gave their heart to Jesus in one lump sum because the Lord appeared to them in visions and dreams, and they were hugging each other and rejoicing, and realized that all of them had the same vision that each one of them had. Taysir Sada is a former PLO sniper and aide to Yasser Arafat. About 30 years ago, he came to faith in Jesus Christ and told his story in the book, Once an Arafat Man. Today, he leads the Christian Humanitarian Seeds of Hope Foundation. In spite of the destruction that is taking place, I believe God has a purpose to get the Palestinians in Gaza wake up and look at a different alternative to what they believe. Let's look forward to the day after Israel's war against Hamas. Explain what you see happening spiritually in Gaza. Many Muslims are looking for an alternative to Islam. I do believe we're going to have a lot of revival, a lot of believers coming through. It's already happening today. As for the Christians, Pastor William Devlin says many have remained in Gaza to help suffering Muslim
The situation in Gaza is perilous. It's enormous. There are 1,000 Christians left in Gaza in a sea of 2.2 million Muslims. And these 1,000 Christians are now living, 500 in the Greek Orthodox Church and 500 in the Roman Catholic Church.
Devlin heads up the global charity Widows and Orphans. A frequent traveler to Gaza, he believes Christians and most Muslims there do not support Hamas.
Hamas is a culture of death. They are all about death. So we're grateful that the Christians are there giving life. And many of them could have left, but they say, look, this is our ancestral homeland. We've been here since antiquity, and we're not going to leave.
Fighting destroyed homes of both Christians and their Muslim neighbors, so the need for food, water, and medicine is widespread. Devlin is hoping the IDF will allow him to go in soon to deliver much-needed relief.
In the midst of their travail, the Lord Jesus is appearing to the Muslims there, and we pray that God would continue to reveal himself through his Son in dreams, in visions, and manifestations in order to bring all of Gaza to faith in Jesus Christ. Pray for many Muslims to come to faith in Jesus. That's their only hope.
A hope and love that Gaza's Christians know endures for eternity. Gary Lane, CBN News.
What's this?
This case is the greatest loss. He needs some answers.
Is back online here and came back online about an hour ago, but as you can imagine, a lot of passengers were very frustrated as they had to board those shuttle buses once again. Workers were back on the tracks near Kenmore Station as they made repairs to a derailed train line or to a derailed Green Line B branch train. The T says 25 passengers were on board the derailed train, but thankfully everyone was evacuated and no one was injured. This happened just before 9 a.m., just 4 hours after the Green Line reopened following an 18-day closure to make improvements. The T says prior to reopening, they conducted rigorous testing, including running multiple test trains through Kenmore Station prior to today's derailment.
Then what happened? I don't know. I feel like if they're saying they're running these tests, and the second it starts going, it breaks down. It seems like they probably were running the test.
Shuttle buses replaced trains between Babcock Street and Copley during the closure, but
They're running a test or a purge. I know it's frustrating, but it keeps them busy while they're being euthanized. It seems like they're in a containment area. It's Boston, right? So you go. Is it really that bothersome if they take subways around? Right? That's a little bit different than the commuter rail. Right? Like I'm not out there to watch them doing it. It's different when they come out here and display that they're taking commuter rails and everything and not paying for it. These people aren't doing that, right? I can understand occasional shutdowns and stuff because I'm sure you're probably like, you people are never going to give a fuck about anybody else, are you? They're not. It's not that you want them to care, you just want it to end. God explained it to me. I knew I didn't actually care if they care. It's just that's the reason that you care. You just want it to end. And they don't have an ability to care. They don't have that within them. They're a different species. So if they want to just ride those buses and trains around downtown Boston while they're being euthanized, then so be it. Right, because as you know, most of those people don't even pay for it. They would starve people out in the suburbs who can't drive anymore. That's what I'm telling you. These are able-bodied young people, but they're being euthanized. Right, you're learning a lot about the population and why they were housed in certain areas. A lot of them are community. Okay, they're community members. They went into this business where they will gladly give themselves everything free because the people out here are all bad guys. Everybody's a bad guy but them. right? Everyone's a bad guy but them. So they're going to give themselves free internet, free everything. And the people out here, even if they became elderly, ill, disabled, and they can't drive anymore, they don't care. We're bad guys. You're all bad guys because you drive cars.
But again, service is back up and running at this time. The T says this incident underscores the importance of continuing their restoration efforts following decades of underinvestment. And the Green Line isn't the only line that's experiencing issues at this time. We just learned that the Orange Line is also having to replace service between Forest Hills and Back Bay Station because of some downed wires near Ruggles Station.
Everything is Ruggles. Saying it's gonna rain in about 3 hours. Yeah, it's not really gonna be rainy tomorrow. Oh my God. 65 on Thursday. Last April was 88 degrees. I need like an hour long one of those. I need like an hour long one of those. See how fast that went by? Yeah, I mean, by the time it's supposed to be 65, you're almost at March 19th, and then you just have to go home another month at least, and you'll be at April 19th. No, you need a 6-month break. It goes by fast. Yeah. Okay, so stuff like this is right. Do people think it's a joke? Like, is it fake news? Is it a joke? How are they adjusting it? Like, even the people reporting it. Atomic bomb report signed by Oppenheimer attracts interest in Boston auction ahead of Oscars. Like, are they just doing that because that's the latest anonymous attempt at flooding the airways with fake news and false flags to get people to do things? Or everyone's going to be fine, but I mean, I believe me, even though people probably think that I don't understand their emotional state, right, about what in the, like, they literally have to be killed. Yeah, shall we? Okay, they literally have to be killed. Um, right, so don't confuse God using his almighty to contain them with they ever came back after 2020. Okay, now one of the things to remember too is that the public began to enjoy watching videos of people being banned from stores over refusing to put a covering over their face. Okay, the public began to enjoy it, and then that began to seem like a game of doing it on purpose and filming them. And it was like, I don't know which thing was worse, that or calling people Karens and beginning to harass people. And then when they call for help, you call them a Karen. I don't know which thing was worse. At first, that's what it felt like. So if you haven't experienced this, I have to explain it to you, my point of view. At first, because if you were wondering like how God is telling me things, it's an example. It's not the only way he does, but at first I went, what is going on? Like, is this like a projection of my teaching and you're like showing me like you're teaching me how to be a better mother for the future or something? Like, is this a projection about my bad teaching? Because I said something about Karen calling the police on Linda. And then it's not. It's the Antichrist. It's the Antichrist, but I don't know how other people received what God was telling them, but I went, what in the, that's a woman I know, and she wasn't being attacked by strangers. She was having a fight with the woman on the beach, but it was like her fault. Yeah, like that was weird. It was probably a coincidence because I found this out later too. Apparently, the manager of the hotel's name was Karen, or were they just saying her name was Karen? Oh yeah, just talk about bizarro aphasia. I would have never thought that people were doing that. Yeah, I would have never thought people were that sick, but it's possible that wasn't even the woman's name, right? The one that was screaming at everyone. Yeah, I would have never thought that people were doing that until I met two of them. You'll meet them, they'll tell you a name, right? And then within a week, you see them again, and they go, "That's not me." What? Okay, so this one has to do with pepper spraying.
Monday.com is the ideal platform for any organization that is looking to make their work more efficient. For nearly 40 years.
All right, Ralph now admits it's suspicious.
Right, because if you remember before that, I was talking about Alex. Oh yeah, you just go, I don't know, maybe it had nothing to do with that. I was like, what? Remember they had peppers on clearance, and I showed the thing where people took peppers and made jack-o'-lanterns out of them? Like George Papad, like, I don't know, just peppers and stuff just made. I know. And even just the peppers that look like jack-o'-lanterns, people would want to do that because it's so cute, like stuffed peppers. But you cut them like they're jack-o'-lanterns, but it's a stuffed pepper. So even that, it didn't even have to have anything to do with George Papad, but like, oh yeah, just this business about Hong Kong pepper spray. I thought it was they were doing a funny thing over there because of George Papad. It's just people are so insane. That's like a disassociation. You go, what in the hell?
The store employee who pepper sprayed a customer earlier this month. This cell phone video right here was taken moments after the incident at the Rouse on La Brea, Wilshire district. July 15th, the employee told the man he had to wear a mask or leave the store. The man ran at the woman with a shopping cart. The worker then pepper sprayed the guy and called police. Rouse now says he suspended the employee for 5 days for not following company guidelines.
Okay, so this is actually a really good example of they have to be euthanized. It can be difficult for people to face a reality where you simply do not have the manpower to somehow care for all these people that are brutally brain ill. They're brutally, like, medically, mentally ill. Okay, so they, it sounds like attacked a man, and he looks like he's older too. I'm going to watch it again. They attacked a man for not wearing a face mask, and they pepper sprayed a person. I know, like, I guess I consider myself lucky after what happened to me because I didn't try to go into stores. I only went into the Stop and Shop in Dedham. I wouldn't even keep going into Star Market when they started doing that shit to me. I understand people that will like, fuck you and you people are fucked. I really understand that. But I mean, I don't think people realized how brutally insane they are. It's God, they want to kill you. They want to kill you. It's like a rabies in the brain. They are medically, mentally insane. They want to kill you like it's Night of the Living Dead. It seriously has nothing to do with the virus or face masks. Okay. That's God sent delusion where that made sense to them. Okay. So, right. They didn't change. They're literally being contained like they're in a psychosis so that they can be put down without incident. You don't have enough police officers to kill them all. They would literally overtake your police officers if they started even trying to arrest them, never mind shoot them dead. They would literally overtake every police force on this land piece. and then they would just start killing everyone because there's no police. So that God has them contained where they're going to ride buses and trains, they're going to take vacations again, all of that while they're being euthanized.
All right, Ralph's now admits it suspended a store employee who pepper sprayed a customer earlier this month. This cell phone video right here was taken moments after the incident at the Ralph's on La Brea in the Mid-Wilshire district, July 15th. The employee told the man he had to wear a mask or leave the store. The man ran at the woman with a shopping cart. The worker there pepper sprayed the guy and called police. Ralph's now says he suspended the employee for 5 days for not following company guidelines.
And then, of course, they show like two huge fat black women with face masks on. Do they have a video of him charging at them with the shopping cart? And there's no audio on these videos, right? That's why people have cell phones. Right. And that's why they didn't want people to have cell phones. And probably, just like happened to me at Social Security, they realize you don't have a phone when you don't pull it out because everyone does it. What people should do is have a phone, even if it doesn't work. When someone starts doing something fucked up to you like that and you don't pull a phone out, it gets worse. It's sort of, I realized it at Social Security. They don't know that your phone doesn't work. Okay, so they know there's a group of people that don't have telephones, and they just assume if you don't take it out, it's like a fucking gun. If you don't take out your phone like a pistol, they keep bothering you. I'm sure those employees know there's no audio on a store camera. So you don't even know what was said. None of that means that the police that showed up agree with what just happened, None of it means that. Right. It's on the news so that people know about it. So, right. Every single time that anyone thinks that anything can be done but to euthanize these things, I'm not the one doing it, but I agree with it being done. Right. And I told you clearly the people doing it are not my friends. They'd want a war just like that. That's their army. They sent an army of these fucking things out to get me several times in the past 13 years. Not they're my fucking friends. They've literally tried to convince these things to fucking kill me probably 14 times in 13 years. And clearly, Almighty God has not allowed that. So you would have hoped that they would have given up on that fucking thought a long time ago, but yeah, like the other thing too is it gave people a literal excuse to fucking attack other people. None of that is going to be ever forgotten. Believe me. Guarantee you, anybody that was fucking attacked by an animal over a fucking face mask is never going to forget that happening to them. Oh yeah, talk about never having anything to do with you things again. I swear to God, that would be if I could have a wish from Almighty God, that would be the only people that have the ability to block the fucking internet. But they wouldn't even do it. If you won't put a fucking mask on your face, you wouldn't block a fucking internet. Believe me. But those should be the only people on a fucking police force. So if people during that time put on leave with pay every police officer that put a face mask on, you're welcome. Because otherwise, why do you have that on your fucking face? We're police officers. We don't have to wear that. We're the people that get called to give these people a fine. Not we put a fucking face mask on. Why would we put a fucking face mask on? We're in a car. We're outside. We don't put a fucking face mask on. Well, it's like this too. Initially, it didn't mean the people doing it were bad. It's just basically they have brain disease. Yeah, it doesn't mean they're bad. It's just yeah, some of them are bad, but it doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad. It's just and then with a fury like they typically do the bad ones, when you explain to them that they're dumb and there's no such virus and they're telling you that you suck dick and you look like a monkey, they go into a fury. And that's when they started fucking tasing people, tackling people. That's what they do. It's exactly what they do. Because then they felt fucking embarrassed. And then everybody was going to do it, not their fucking dumb. Like a pack of wild fucking animals. Oh, well, everybody has to do it. No, everybody doesn't have to do it. It's that easy. Boom. Tackling people, taser them, parking a fucking train, putting them in handcuffs, acting like you're gonna fucking strap me to a gurney and drug me if you can't put a fucking face mask on my face. You're gonna fucking climb on top of me when I'm naked in a fucking Johnny. If I fight you about putting a fucking face mask on my face, not I took a mask and put it on me. Some fucking dude put it on me who isn't even a fucking doctor or nurse. Deserve everything you fucking get, believe me. Did I say words? Did I say words on an internet? Did I type words on a fucking internet? I sure as fuck wasn't blocking people from fucking food and water over a face mask. Did I conjure up a plot plan to have dudes strip fucking naked right in front of me and say there was a virus? Christ God, man. Nothing but fucking. It's sad, some of them. Mentally ill people. Then that became a way to, like, you're a fucking news star because you're causing fights and shit over a fucking face mask. Just sad. Just people that will completely look around to what other people are doing and completely just mirror back what other people are doing. Well, it's just part of having your brain blown out. It's not necessarily a bad idea, but they clearly didn't want to talk about it. they don't want to talk about how fucking stupid they are, and maybe some people are afraid to talk about masks again. But apparently, 8 months ago, Philadelphia wanted to bring up they were going to ban ski masks in public, and then see if anybody thinks that's bad to do or good to do. All right, how the fuck that was any different than those face masks? I am sure some people took full advantage of it where they felt that they could commit crimes and no one would know who it was. Oh yeah, you people basically I don't know what the fuck this purge thing is, but it sounds like they thought they were living in it. People that can't tell the difference between films and news, people that are living they watch a film and then they vacillate into living in a film in real life because their brains are dying. I think some of it, but I mean, maybe part of mental insanity is your brain is dying. But I mean, clearly, it just what people have gone through for 15 years is shocking to the mind, anyways. And and some of the shockingness that I've had to go through is how fucking sick people are. Some of the shit I've had to fucking listen to, observe. I think I already did all the news already, right, this morning. This is good if you have somewhere where there's a bunch of stairs. Climbing for a cause, hundreds take part in American Lung Association's fight for Air Climb Boston. I don't have jog walks on my schedule tomorrow. I think I have nothing on my schedule. Tomorrow's supposed to be basically my off day because I was going Monday through Thursday and then I was basically taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Last week I took more days off because it was carb week. But did I walk on that Friday or that was just I just walked yesterday? I probably didn't walk last Friday, right? So I went Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I took 4 days off yesterday. I remember now, and I was not in a good mood by Monday. Even Sunday, I probably wasn't. Yeah, I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because it was carb week. Okay, I did the same thing last month, and I started feeling like I was going to lose my mind. I was in a rip for a while where I was doing like 3 or 4 days off. Yeah, it was bad. So today I did my arm stuff. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Because clearly I plan to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at least. And then I'd have to look at the calendar tomorrow and see because during the week I go every other day with the arm work. Yeah, so if Sunday is nothing, that means Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Sunday would be next week for the work. So I would have to do something on Friday. But it's not like a walk. And then I think I was going. Was I just doing it Monday through Friday with the jog walks? Probably. So I probably have to do the Monday. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then Sunday's probably nothing. Except for the arms. It's probably not jog walks. And then Monday after this Monday is when I start doing the whole walk, because the sun's direction should be okay to do that. I wasn't sure exactly. It might be closer to the end of March, but when I got here in 2022, I immediately started walking up that hill. After being on the ground for 2 months and sitting 24 hours a day for 8 weeks straight, yeah, I immediately started going, and it was like every day until I got my belly back down. And then I was still doing it a lot. I'd go out there, I don't know if it was every other day, but I go back and forth between the Dedham Walk and that. Okay. This sounds fun, climbing up the stairs. American Lung Association. 789 stairs. That sounds like a lot. Okay, 41 floors. Yeah, that's a lot. Where do they do it? I know, because I'd like to know why I can walk up 41 stairs. I would do that. I don't know of any place around here that we have anything. We don't have anything tall around here that's like public that you can just go into. I don't know if there's anything tall around here at all. Is there any place around here that has like a lot of stairs like that? Did you ever go to the Statue of Liberty? I did when I was like junior high school. It's stairs. Yeah, you walk upstairs. The Arc de Triomphe has stairs. Let me see if I can find one. I'm pretty sure it was that one. That's where they had the paper dolls, yep. Let's see. Oh yeah, this looks semi-familiar. Yeah. It's like a spiral staircase. I had paper dolls when I was a kid. Yep, stairs inside. So does the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Neither one. I'm not near either one of those things. I can't even take a train to downtown Boston. Never mind New York City to climb the Statue of Liberty, but I would. Yeah. That's something I would do. I was taking a train to South Station and walking to Castle Island, so I'm pretty sure. What else was I doing? I was walking to Forest Hills. Yeah, one of these days. Well, no, I don't want to replace that with my midday marathon, but probably soon. The thing is I probably forgot how to do it already. I'm just thinking in my mind now, and I've got to be like, not tired that day. So you walk to Forest Hills, you just go right back down High Park Ave, because we're not supposed to be walking there right now. So we'll determine when it's safe to do it. So you walk down High Park Ave, because you can smell it. You can smell the radon being released and whatever else they're doing. That's when I stopped walking down there. Yeah, was it the same day that those dudes were at that Stop and Shop on American Legion Highway? Yeah, if you don't have to, I wouldn't go past Cleary Square, but it's probably going to be soon, at least to do the walk I'm talking about. So you go down High Park Avenue, just keep going. It's 4.5 miles, so don't expect it to be. It'll probably take you about an hour. Yeah, it's not really that far. It's it's. I think the first time you do it, it seems longer because you never did it before. It's typical. You'll just go right into Forest Hills. It's just a straight rip. So at Forest Hills, um, isn't it that road? This is why it's better to go the other way. I'd have to look it up, but I think it's like right before the building, that street there. Maybe I'm better off going the other way, but how would I go the other way? I can't go the other way. Yeah, because I'd have to take a train or something. How would I go the other way? There is no other way. I think it's the road right before Forest Hills, and you go up there. I'd have to look it up, but it goes around it and it goes to Franklin Park Zoo. Okay, and then you sort of like go past Franklin Park Zoo, and I think is that when you come out to that highway like this. Okay, and then you cross over that, and it goes past that Shattuck Hospital. Right, you'll see. Yeah, I think it's like over there somewhere. And at one point, you're sort of like up on. You probably go, this is no way. This is this way. Because when I was coming the other way, I thought I was going the wrong way, but I wasn't. You're gonna have to like go up on this. It's not like you would think there'd be a sidewalk there. It's just they didn't put one. And then you just keep going and going and going, and then it goes into. Isn't that it goes into Upham's Corner or something? Yeah, Abrams Corner. I think I was calling it Upham's Corner. Like it's, or I was calling it Abrams Corner, and it's Upham, something like that. This train stops there. I know it's weird how everything loops around. This Famlawn train stops there. But anyways, that was supposed to be. That could have been part of a program for walking. And then you just nope, it's all good. Nothing is free. Nope, nothing is free. It's all part of the secrets. That's why they're being euthanized. Right? They told you 16 days the train was free, so I rode it for 16 days. Believe me, nothing is free. I already witnessed it happen to someone. It's kind of like the hotel, right? At any given time, they're just going to go up to you and ask you to pay them. That's why I don't do it. Nothing can be free. It's like the tablets and the internet. I wrote it when they announced to everybody that it was free for 16 days. Otherwise, no. Right. I got, they didn't punch my ticket, but this train does punch my ticket. Get it? Nothing is free. Nothing is free. I didn't go, hey, punch my ticket when I knew I had a $10 weekend pass. But these people punch a ticket because nothing's free. Right? Just nothing is free. If there's people that are getting quote unquote free shit, they need to know that. No, I want these people to know how fucking damned and disgusting they are. I don't care if they're 16. Right? See how they're teaching their children? There's no way out of this now. These people are refusing to stop being fucking criminals, so they're being euthanized. I'm explaining to you the other side of your species, okay? Not they have to give a fuck about me. They are not they're not allowing things to live on this land piece doing this shit. They're just not. It's not going to fucking happen. And the population of the planet is too large. So these things were tricked into doing what they're doing. because it's an excuse. It's an excuse to fucking kill them. So what's happened is my sympathy and compassion for them is zero, because they show me what they actually are like. That's why. By shit like that. Oh no, we have tablets with 3 years internet, Mary. I've spoken when I went out to Quincy during 2020, and those people all given COVID money and extra SNAP food units. And I'm there with the fucking SNAP food card that's about on empty. I don't have an income. I didn't get COVID. I didn't get extra SNAP food. And they know it. And I don't even have a fucking phone. Get it? Oh, yeah. Just you people. Oh, I'm sorry. I did have a phone. Fuck. Yeah, no. I just was reminded I did actually. That was one of the times I had the phone, because it was 2020. It was right after that they shut it off. And these people, the way that they were fucking talking to me, that's what they're like. Nope. They pretend everything is a fucking persona, not I forgot. Never again will you people, it doesn't matter how you act or anything. I know what the fuck you are. Anyways, oh, and then using Boston Public Schools to ride a fucking train all year round, not when they're in school. And then they post it on the website because they want you to fucking know about it. Not only that, but they showed up here. And I knew that's what they were doing. As fucked up as it sounds, I knew that's what I was doing, because these fucking things have been doing it to me for 13 fucking years. All of a sudden, there's a mob of people, and they went from over there to there. That's a fucking Amtrak train. Why were they standing there? Because I go up the stairs right there. That's why. And then they did it right over here. Right in front of those fucking stairs, too. It's just some weird animal-like behavior that they jump the fuck in front of me. Like they're blocking you in a grocery store line. How are you people riding those trains like that? They get it through fucking Boston Public Schools. They have buses, we know. Boston Public Schools give these people free fucking MBTA. When they have fucking school buses, I saw them in Dorchester. They have school buses. You just go, how is this fucking happening? It's just to distract them and contain them, because they're murderously fucking insane. I know, you just go, you guys realize you're all gonna fucking die, right? Oh, we're all gonna die. 13 years, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die, Mary. Don't even bother telling them they're all gonna die. I know, don't even bother. Just wait for the measles. Yeah. Wait for the cough and the measles. We're all gonna die, Mary. 13 years, we're all gonna die. I'm sure that's probably how they fucking talk now, because it's been 15 years. If they have things around here that are 18, 19, 20, that's how they're going to talk. A 20-year-old was only 5 years old in 2008. These things have no comprehension of the United States of America. They have no comprehension of a place where a select group of people you're allowed to fucking degrade and abuse and attack and Holocaust. They have no concept of that not going on. They have no morality at all. They're morally depraved. They're absolutely fucking morally depraved. That is what they did to themselves, the things that birthed them. So anyways, like I said, they will show up at a fucking Dollar Tree to make sure I know that people are getting those tablets when they won't give me one. I'm entitled to one of them and they won't issue me one. But they will show up wherever the fuck they think you are. They were doing it in Quincy too. They show up there to say they're giving out free phones, and every fucking time you don't qualify for it, when of course you do. They're deranged. They're psychopathically deranged. They were raised to do that. They were raised to be like that. It's been 15 years of it. We're just here to make sure you know that we found a way, Mary. But they won't say they fucking know me. We found a way, Mary, to give ourselves free internet. You said we weren't getting free internet, that we were going to fucking pay, or we were going to have to go to a library like you do. Anybody. It doesn't have to be Mary. Say that you pay for your fucking internet and you go, stop giving these people everything fucking free. They will make sure that those people get everything fucking free, and they will make sure that you know about it. That's how they raise their fucking young. And they will run around making sure that everybody that pays for something knows that they're not fucking paying. They're like really lucky that someone hasn't blown their fucking heads off their bodies yet. Because that is exactly what they do. They're not just doing it to me. People paying mortgages and fucking working and pay a bill want these people to just be handed every fucking thing and not pay for a goddamn fucking thing. No, they don't. That's why they kept a fucking system and did an Exodus 20. Why the fuck are they being what do you call that? Oppressed and told to pay a fucking bill, and these people are being handed fucking everything? Please. They can't leave it the fuck alone as they're being euthanized. We're all aware. That's why we're not caring about the nuclear weapons. And eventually, I don't think they're ever going to realize it. They're in the streets. People are going to stop driving. We're in a co-op. You just go, oh my fucking God. We're one love. We're homeless, but not helpless. Not you people fell into a trap where obviously these people were going to kill everyone anyway. But you people actually didn't realize that that's what was going on. Yeah, I mean, when people take mud and shove it right in my fucking eye, I care what's happening to them. I don't even think they're letting them voice their fucking injustice anymore. So I don't know what they're doing. Other than they're all getting chemo. That came up on the walk too, but I got to take my chicken out. Apparently they're all getting chemotherapy. Fucking God. They're going to get free fucking museum passes next. Free MTA, free fucking museum passes, free fucking tablets. Fucking clueless animals. Everything will turn into I'm a mass murdering fucktard. And I don't give a fuck. I really don't. It will turn into I'm the person that wants a monetary system. You folks will come up with whatever the fuck you need to self-terminate. Believe me. See, everybody's the same. You're the one who wants a monetary system. You're the one who doesn't want free food. See, we're all the same. It's not my fucking first go round dying off back of fucking animals. You don't follow the commandments and you don't give to the poor. I am the fucking poor. You're not the fucking poor. I'm the fucking poor. Nope. All right, so that's all done. Nope. Yeah, totally. You inner thigh people, man. Like it's like your rear inner thigh, those jump squat things. It's got to be that because that's the only thing I did that was different. Whoops. I guess before I shut it off, I was like maybe told to go over with you again about your impending infertility because of the eggs. I don't know if people are noticing that a lot when they do hard-boiled eggs, especially if they were doing a program, a diet program with hard-boiled eggs, because a bunch of us were. And then God was explaining about the impending fertility. So once it's a point of the Passover where you guys are ready for that and you won't panic and cause more problems, you'll become completely infertile. I think it was yesterday's walk I began discussing some of this again about you've been seeing for at least 100 years an increase in birth defects. So you may not know that because of the abortions, and people have abortions and then that's their private business, so the public doesn't know about that. Okay, so you've already been having that, and so you've also got some people that are having issues where they're using fertility clinics and stuff, so that was already going on planet-wide, not just in the United States of America, by the way. I'm not saying these people with the rapid reproduction have survivable offspring. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. They were probably allowed to do that because they don't do anything else and they're extremely prone to violence. So they're very paranoid. They would think that there was some sort of a conspiracy that was somebody sterilized them without their knowledge. They wouldn't believe that God was making them sterile. So they're always better than everybody, and God wouldn't do that. And there's got to be a man-made reason for everything. It's the nature of a species. So you probably, after now with the mutations and the birth defects, and I think some people, there's like I got reports of an uptick in disabled children, and that's not being reported. That's not related to vaccine injury. So an increase in probably stillbirths, an increase in stillbirths, and leading to an increase in just miscarriages to no pregnancies at all. I would think that would be the course of how it would go. So one of the things is about the lining in the eggs, and I think it's not they don't know that. It's just why it's happening. I'm not saying they don't know that, and then they're injecting sperm into eggs. Okay. Right. As to why, if they were looking for like a chemical causing that, it's part of an extinction.